helps to have volume on the mic turned on. So, like I said, we've been working on a web scraper that pulls information off of the Forge Utah meetup page. I'll show that right here for anyone who's missed it. And basically, it pulls all of these next upcoming meetups, and gives me a link to the site. The idea is, I would be able to go here, and then take any additional information I'd want, long term. So I could then get the name, pull any description information, how many people have RSVP'd, obviously the date and time would be important, but that doesn't mean anything unless I have a place to store it. So I currently use Firebase, and I like it. I use it for hosting my website. So I was just gonna see if we can, if it would work good to just store this information. The idea being I want the links to be surfaced on my personal website, right here, right? If nothing else, this could be updated. I could just basically pull down a new link and update the reference and redeploy my site without having to do any fancy JavaScript. It would be all static, and that's the best part. It's all still static, so I don't have to touch JavaScript. Because touching JavaScript is not what I want to do today, or any of the days really. So yeah, like I said, the site's hosted here. If I could use the Firestore or a real-time database, I mean, it could be stored as a file, who cares at this point. But if I could use the real-time database, then I would be able to, it would make security a lot easier, because they're on they're like the same account, right? Like, I could just use login keys and auth stuff and it wouldn't be hard. I'm trying to avoid having to worry about people hacking me. I probably shouldn't say that on Twitch, because then anybody could literally just hack me. So yeah, I was just gonna kind of jump into it, and it's gonna start with a whole bunch of reading. I want you to know that I don't read well. I used to, like in elementary school, I used to be really proud of it, but that's because I could read. When you're reading at a collegiate level in 6th grade, of course you want to show off to everybody. But now everybody I'm around reads at a collegiate level, so it's like, whoop-de-doo, we're all the same. So it's, anyway, the Firebase real-time database. Store and sync data with our NoSQL cloud database. Data is synced to all clients across all clients in real time and remains available when your app goes offline, which is good. Firebase real-time database is, well, that's good, because if I were to deploy my web crawler or the web scraper as a Firebase app, which is totally realistic, I would want the data to stay persisted and available when it's not running. Okay, cool. The Firebase real-time database is a cloud-hosted database. Data store is JSON and synchronized in real time to every client. So that means it's a file store instead of a relational database, but it's NoSQL, so that's fine. When you build cross-platform apps with iOS, Android, and JavaScript SDKs, none of those things I do. All of your clients share one real-time database instance and will automatically receive updates with the newest data. But hey, I host on Firebase, so why not? Especially if Google wants to pay me for this, I'll use Firebase every day. if you want to sponsor me, I will only use Firebase, and maybe even learn JavaScript. Instead of typical HTTP requests, the Fire real-time database uses data synchronization. Okay, that sounds like a lie. I mean, I just don't know what that means. Every time data changes, any connected device receives an update within milliseconds, provided collaborative, immersive experience without networking code. Oh, so basically it's saying, instead of you having to ask for it, we'll send you an event. That sounds like this was written for not engineers. For people just who don't do this every day. Firebase apps remain responsive even when offline because Firebase real-time database SDKs persist your data to disk. Once connectivity is reestablished, the client device receives any changes it missed, synchronizing it with current server state. Okay. Well, yeah. The Firebase real-time database can be accessed directly from a mobile device or web browser. There is no need to run an application server. Well, yeah, security and data validation are available through Firebase real-time database security rules, expression-based rules that are executed when data is read and written. Good. With Firetime real-time database on the Blaze pricing plan, I think that's what I'm on. Again, if Google wants to pay for that, I'm totally up to talk. Just ping me, DM me, email me. I'm here. You can support your app's data needs to scale by splitting data across multiple database instances in the same Firebase project. That's not bad. Streamline authentication with Firebase authentication on your project to authenticate user across your database instances. See, this is my point. That's why I wanted to use Firebase, is because it already has the authentication. Theoretically, you can turn on your Firebase authentication in a Google Cloud Console, so you can authenticate across any Google Cloud application. So I could use any GCP product as well. I just don't need size. So why try harder? I guess, is my thought. I'm gonna start popping cough drops in a minute. Whenever I talk too much, my throat just gets dry. It's a side effect of living in Utah, in the second driest state in the country, is that if you talk, your throat gets dry. Okay. Control access to data in each database with custom Firebase real-time database roles for each database instance. Still, that was my whole point. How does it work? Firetime real-time database lets you build rich collaborative applications by allowing, I think this is going to repeat itself, by allowing secure access to database directly from the client code. Data is persisted locally, even when offline. Real-time events continuing. No, that's not what that word says. Real-time events continue to fire, giving the end user a responsive experience. When the device regains connection, the real-time database synchronizes. The local data changes with the remote updates that occurred while the client is offline, merging any conflicts automatically. That's disgusting. I don't want to know how they do that. They paid somebody a lot of money for that. Real-time database provides a flexible, expression-based rules language called Firebase real-time database security rules. Firebase database. I don't think we use the word base enough. To define how your data should be structured and when the data can be read from or written to. When integrated with Firebase authentication, developers can define who has access to what data and how they can access it. Real-time database is a NoSQL database, not NA. Real-time database is a NoSQL database. That just means it's not traditional relational database. It can mean other things, but that's literally all I'm saying. It already says they store it in JSON, so I assume It's very similar to like MongoDB or like DynamoDB. They just kind of use a smart Firestore. Usually NoSQL allows for dynamic queries, very similar to how SQL queries, but just don't use SQL, I guess. So much for sharpening up my SQL skills. The functionality compared to a relational database. Oh, and optimizes. Oh, let's start over. I forgot my line of thought. The real-time database is a NoSQL database, and as such has different optimizations and functionality compared to a relational database. Just put that in Spanish, and we'll try and read it about the same. It's an option. We're not even gonna try. I mean, I could. I just would have. My tech vocabulary is minimal. I do have someone coming to speak at my meetup next week, hosted on Twitch, from Argentina. They'll be doing machine learning from Argentina. So, that's cool. Not that... Okay, from Argentina. I mean, it's just cool the fact that you can get speakers from all over the world and they don't even have to fly. They can just speak. Thanks, COVID, for giving me access to, like, world-class talent. Get it? World-class talent. A real-time database API is designed to only allow operations that can be executed quickly. I think I will most likely only interact with a database via the API. I'm sorry, I just saw this. Video series, Firebase for SQL developers. So if you have an old school DBA and you're like, you have to do Firebase, and they're like, no, screw you. That's for them. Yeah. Most people just want an API. This enables you to build a great... That's what happens when I read too much. Okay. Let's try some Ricola. And, that's not going to help me remember to breathe. Okay, this enables you to build a great real-time experience that can serve millions of users without compromising on responsiveness. That's the API. Because of this, it's important to think of how users need to access your data and then structure it accordingly. Read this. How does this affect availability, latency? What's the other one? The C? Implementation paths. Integrate the Firebase real-time SDKs. Quickly include clients with Gradle, CocoaPods, or a script include. Here's the thing. It's a Go app, so I doubt that Firebase has a Go SDK. Just because it's not on the list right here, it says iOS, Android, Web, so JavaScript, admin, that's the rules, REST, C++, everybody else, and Unity. I'm sure they'll have one eventually. It is Google, right? Create real-time database references. Set data and listen for changes. Enable offline persistence. Secure your data. Looking to store other types of data. We could do Cloud Firestore. We already have Firebase hosting. That might be good to see. If I like just the difference, right? Cloud Firestore is a Firebase's. Woo! Cloud Firestore is Firebase's newest database for mobile app development and builds on further successes of real-time database with a new, more intuitive data model. Cloud Firestore Also features richer, faster queries and scales further than real-time database. Real-time database is an original database. Its efficient, low-latency solution for mobile apps requires you to sync across. Oh! Stores as one large JSON tree or store as a collection of documents. We probably want this. I probably am a little bit closer to here. Yeah, there we go. If we can do IM, yeah, we're cool. Oh. Yes, but can I get started? Oh, go back! There's a Go SDK. We're in business. We're in frickin' business right now. Okay, let's... Okay. We're in freaking business. We're in freaking business. Should we go? 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 Yes or no? This is the wrong user. I'm totally okay with that. Let's go. That sounded really funny in my ear. Create a cloud Firestore database. Go to the Firestore console, click Add Project. Now, what if I want it on only half? No, not you. I don't do this very often, so I'll just get rid of you. No, I don't need that. Okay, for the time being, add a project. Project name. Meetup. Yeah. Firestore. C-store. Okay, it says getting started. Okay, add project, then follow the on-screen instructions. Oh! I don't need to do that then. I already have a project. Well... I'll make a new project anyway. If I can use the IAM permissions, we should be fine. Continue. Use the Google Analytics. Create a project. Provisioning resource. Don't you love these wheels? like makes it feel like you're actually doing something. Most likely aren't, but we can feel like it. He's ready. Okay. There we go. Click on Cloud Firestore. Navigate to Firestore section of the console. Either they're listening to this podcast or that's defaulted for everyone. Cool. You'll be prompted to select an existing project. Well, we'll probably do the test mode because I'm on Twitch. Okay. Because I don't want to be doing any kind of persistence of real stuff over Twitch. Because somebody would try to hack me. After you set this location, it can't be changed later. Also, this location setting will be your location for the default Google Cloud Storage bucket. It doesn't matter that much. I mean, it probably does for some people. It doesn't matter for me. Because I'm probably going to end up deleting this. Once the data and it's not all crap. It's just going to be crap data for like the first ever. Select a location. Click done. Okay. When you enable Firestore, it also enables the Cloud API Manager. Oh, I already had that. Okay, so there's no data. Okay. We could do a local simulator? Does that work with Docker Compose? Those are the questions. Okay. Question Google, or Twitter, or Twitch, or World. Does the Firebase emulator work with Docker Compose? That way I could compose all of the BS I need and run with it. Cool. So let's start. Cool. Well, should we make a new Git project for this? Not I. What did I just click? Make directory Firestore Cloud Firestore Go X. That sounds like a library. Go sample. That's good. World's longest name. There we go. So first thing first, go mod. Oh dang, F, I have to make it. That's the one thing. The one dumb thing. about this is I have to make it. So I have to have a repo for this. I like to do the what is it? The unlicensed. I don't know. I've looked at these ones. It shouldn't be easier to do it this way, but it is for like for at GoMod, like I almost always have to do this for GoMod ones. And by this, I mean create the GitHub repo first, and if I have any data, it's like worse because it's easier to create a blank repo on GitHub than it is to import an existing one. And yeah, it'd probably be easier if I had the GitHub CLI. I just haven't gotten around to that yet because I just don't have time to sit on this computer. I would much rather be watching Netflix. Okay. Oh, cool. Let's check out a branch for Firestore. Cool. I don't think we need this anymore. So if we don't, we'll just keep going. Cool. Oh. I should have done go get. I believe that it is Command Option I. Nope. Cancel. Is that not Command Option I? It's Control Option I. No, it's not Control Option I. It's Control Option J. Go get. So Firebase, which has a Go mod, a Go SDK, appears to not be super Go mod friendly because they're all incompatible. And there's only 19,000 dependencies. Looks like Google needs to get their together. All of it. get all of their together. 100%. Okay. Do this later. I don't want to initialize my own server. Initialize on Google Cloud Platform. Okay, what does it say? Follow the instructions to initialize Firestore with the proper credentials in your environment. What? Where does it tell me those? Okay. Oh, that's probably oh, the instructions are below. Duh. Okay. The Cloud Firestore SDK is initialized in different ways depending on your environment. Below are the most common methods. For complete reference, see initialize the admin SDK. Initialize on Google Cloud Platform. Initialize your own server. So this says that doesn't give you any. So this says to use Firebase admin SDK on your own server. Oh, I'm not running it on my own server. I'm gonna run it on Firebase. Go to I am admin with the Google Cloud Platform console. Create a private. Oh, maybe like if I have something I want to push onto there. So I would most likely be doing this. This isn't real Go. Let's make an init function. But not a real init function, a fake one. And that's not where the imports go. They go up here. Project ID. Well, I'm gonna delete this project after the stream's over, so our project ID is that should be somewhere. In project overview. I mean, that's usually where I find it. Okay. It's not that. They do have additional. They do have another one. Don't want crash analytics. Why on earth would I want crash analytics? I don't want to add an app. Usually it's just like right there. Oh, there it is. So it's exactly what we thought it would be. like theoretically should just work. I do love the word theoretically. Add data. Let's just try this. So we are going to have type db works, so we're just going to call it Firebase. Can you hear my nephew playing Xbox? He likes to scream at the TV. And we want this to be the fconf, and so this init is going to return yeah, it's just going to return a Firebase struct. Oh, maybe it should be a client. And so it should be FB equals FB F client F client client. Firestore client is what we want to call it. And then this, I'm surprised I'm not getting an error on return. And then this would be F base equals init. And then we want to defer base dot f client dot close. On 18. Oh, because it's defet, not defer. Nobody's catching me on my spelling mistakes. The world is failing me. We'll just run this in main. Copy paste. And this would be right. Well, then we'll just take a context here. That's usually pretty simple. That way if I want to add like a timeout or anything. Okay, and then where am I not defining error? 8? Oh, 20. Oh. That's why. And this would be write data. And so since they're doing it kind of as a file store, it would be on my end to like in secure data format. So in not a test environment, I would take this stuff. Come on, where are you? This stuff, and I would pass in a struct that I could maintain. I wonder if the security has any way of maintaining a backwards compatibility, or it's probably like an. You said it can overwrite. Right? I wonder how we maintain that. I wonder. Let's run it. Assuming my build stuff fails. Oh! 62. G client. I wonder what Google actually added to Firestore since they purchased it. Right? Because it wasn't their project. They just bought it, which is what they do for everything, right? They bought Nest. That's obviously not what I needed. Oh, really? They use Google Auth for this? It's the Google Cloud API. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Well, I've done this before. But essentially what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to create an IAM profile. Cool. call it a day. If you guys want to see more Firestore, I don't know where the heck you're going to give me a thumbs up. But yeah, feel free to put it in the comments or message me on the tweet bots. That would be the best place. I'm going to go ahead. We'll just call it an evening because it looks like I have to set up some IM stuff. Which is always the worst. But let's go ahead and just delete this project. And we will worry about that in the future. Cool. And when I get back on here, we should have the IM stuff ready to go. We can start trying to break the Firebase Firestore. Super duper thanks as always for helping out. I love everybody that jumps on, makes me feel super special. And we will see you most likely next week. Thanks a billion.